So, today I want to talk to you guys about open enrollment readiness and what to expect for this upcoming open enrollment and how we can make sure that you are ready to take on the busy season. So, let's get right into it. So, for those of you that don't know, individual open enrollment runs from November 1st, 2026 through January 15th, 2027. What that means is that the deadline of December 15th, 2026 will be for coverage that starts on January 1st, 2027. If you sign up for coverage between December 16th and January 15th, that means that your coverage is going to start on February 1st. So I know it's a little bit confusing. However, you do want to make sure that you are checking as this does vary by state. Some states are not going to extend that deadline, some states will. It's definitely the best in your best interest to just make sure that you are double checking that. As for Medicare, this runs from October 15th, 2026 to December 7th, 2026. Changes made during this window go into effect on January 1st, 2027. So, if you don't already know, the open enrollment period is the designated yearly window where you can sign up. You sign up for health insurance, you can change your health insurance, you can completely drop it. There's no life event or, anything that you need in order to go ahead and do that. So if you do miss this window as a client, you typically are going to have to wait until the next year unless you have something that qualifies like a qualifying life event that will get you health insurance. So let's move on. Certification and training. So, the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you complete your annual FFM certification. The one for the plan year 2027 is not open yet. So, you don't have to do that just yet. However, you do want to keep an eye out for this. This is a mandatory free yearly training program managed by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, so CMS. And it does authorize agents to sell and service the ACA market and whatnot through the exchange. So you definitely want to get certified there. The second thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to complete your state annual certifications. In other words, if you are in a state that has its own exchange, for example, Illinois has its own exchange, it's Get Covered Illinois. You want to make sure that you are doing the training and certifications that you need for that. On this next page, you are going to see all of the different state based exchanges, ranging from California all the way to Washington. These are the states, and then these are the names of the exchanges. You want to make sure that you're going through all of these, you're taking all of the tests, you're getting certified, and make sure that you are keeping all of that documentation as proof that you did complete it. All right, the next thing is going to be contracting. If you are not already appointed under our agency, I highly suggest you do so. You can email us at contracting@ihealthagents.com. So, the first thing I'm going to talk about is just verifying. Well, let's just go over it very briefly. Verify, resolve, and educate. First thing you want to do is you want to verify. Just because you have submitted paperwork for contracting does not mean that you are automatically verified and that you are automatically ready to sell or active. Please double check. Make sure that you have your welcome letter. Make sure you have your writing number. Check your portals, check with us. Absolutely email us if you have to and let us know, hey, I'm not really sure if I have a writing number yet. Can you please check? And we're more than happy to do that for you. I would rather you guys do that, double check with us, triple check with us, than you guys lose out on any sort of commissions. The second thing is resolving. You're going to want to resolve any pending or incomplete contracting or paperwork that you have not done yet. So, if you haven't completed paperwork that you received, whether it's via link or paperwork that you have to fill out, et cetera, that means you probably haven't gotten a welcome letter yet. You need to do that. And I highly suggest that you guys do that as soon as possible. The last thing is you want to educate yourself. Make sure that you know and fully understand which carriers are going to be entering, which ones are going to be exiting your market, especially because there are so many changes happening right now. It's just constant. So it's very important that you stay informed. A couple of upcoming tidbits for our agency when it comes to ACA and individual carrier contracting. October 15th of every year is typically when we slow down the contracting and we really shift our priorities into getting ready for open enrollment. That means we want to make sure that all of the stuff on our side internally as the admin, we want to make sure we're ready to take on open enrollment. So I highly suggest that you guys get appointed as soon as possible. If you guys come to us on November 1st asking to get appointed with 15 different carriers when open enrollment just started, chances are it's not going to happen very fast. And that's not when you want things to be slow. So I really suggest you guys submit anything you need to right now. The second thing is, again, just because you submitted paperwork doesn't mean you're automatically appointed or ready to sell. Please do not assume that your appointment is completed. Um, and it's also very dangerous to assume that your appointment can be fixed after a sale. Verify with us first, sell second. Make sure that when you're writing, you have your writing number. Because if you do sell a policy in April, but you're not appointed until June, you lose out on that commission about 99% of the time. You're going to lose that commission for the entire year. They're not going to start paying you from June just because that's when you got appointed. Typically, they will not pay you at all because you were not appointed at the date of the sale. So, again, before you start selling, if you need to, please ask us. Contracting at iHealthAgents.com. We will make sure that we got you covered. The last thing is we really encourage you guys to check out the portals, check out the carrier portals because they are gold mines for marketing materials, training resources, plan information, grids, everything else. You want to make sure that you're checking these carrier portals for plan information and any other useful material that you may need. So, knowledge and compliance, you guys definitely want to review the 2027 plan and carrier updates. Again, they are constantly changes, subsidy changes, deductible trends, network shifts, carriers leaving and entering and whatnot, all of that. You want to definitely make sure that you are up to date with all of that. You want to confirm your privacy practices, refresh yourself on HIPAA, CMS, compliances. Make sure that you are really familiar with how to sell plans properly. Make sure that you are getting consent. Make sure you're documenting everything. A reminder that the accepted formats for consent can be gathered either by phone call, recorded phone call, electronic signatures, text messages, emails, signed physical documents. I really think that any recordings and emails are going to be your best friend. So get as much as you possibly can. Resources and marketing. In your carrier portals, you're almost always able to download carrier grids and plan comparisons. So definitely encourage everybody to go in there, download everything that you can so that you have it just in case if you're trying to get into, let's say, Ambetter's portal and for some reason it's down and now you can't get this information. Well, if you have it saved to your desktop or whatever it is that you use, it can be a game changer for you. It can be a lifesaver. You want to make sure you're updating your marketing materials. If you have business cards, email signatures, I know for our email signatures, we always make sure that we let people know that, hey, it's open enrollment time, like response times might be a little bit slower, etc. Update your websites, update your social media bios. Really try to use bookmarks on your browser, whatever browser it is that you're using. Try to use those for the marketplace, for different state exchanges, for carrier portals, quoting tools, your CRM, anything that you need. Make sure that you're bookmarking it and staying organized. And then lastly, just be prepared. Be prepared to talk to people and be able to explain any sort of major changes and subsidies, anything that you can clearly. Medicare carrier contracting. So for Medicare, I know it's a little bit late in the year for Medicare. However, August 31st is the blackout transfer deadline, or is the blackout deadline for transfers. So Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan and Blue Cross Blue Shield of South Carolina, you can still transfer with or without a release until August 31st. CareSource, you can transfer with a release until August 31st. United Healthcare, you can transfer with a release until August 31st. If you do not have releases, then you guys have already missed the deadline for this. I'm sorry, you're going to have to wait until next year. September is for HealthSpring, WellCare, Aetna, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Arizona, sorry, Molina, and Zing. And as you can see on the presentation here, you'll see whether you need a release or not. That being said, please do not wait. Most of the missed AEP transfers happen because people start this process too late. Just because you see that the deadline is August 31st doesn't mean you should start on August 30th, because chances are it's going to take a few days, if not longer, to go through everything. And even if, I mean, it's very possible that these carriers may not see your email until then. So just try to do it as fast as possible, as soon as possible. And then lastly, if you are not already registered for Spark to request Medicare contracting, let us know at contracting at iHealthAgents.com, and we can go ahead and send you the link for that. And then if you are already registered, you simply have to go to your back office tab, view carrier contracts, request a contract, super easy to do. If you need a walkthrough, just let us know. And then the last thing that I have here is just upcoming webinars that we're going to be hosting. The next webinar that I will be hosting will be the marketplace compliance. And that's just going to be kind of going through compliance and documentation and consumer consents for the plan year 2027. Just reminders and advice on how to stay compliant. We're also going to send out some information to any agents that are our agents and on our list. And then after that, we are planning to have a Health Sherpa refresher, which is, I think, always a great one. We do this every single year. That is the platform that we use to enroll and compare plans for ACA. Um, Definitely a great webinar. I think it's super helpful. And for anybody who is not completely sure how to use it, it's going to be a great webinar. And then you can see all of the other features that are in Health Sherpa as well. So that's just a really brief overview into, getting ready for open enrollment and everything. If you are not appointed with us and you'd like to be, go ahead and email us at contracting@ihealthagents.com. If you have any questions about your current appointment or anything like that, always feel free to email us, join us on Slack, etc., etc. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.